Hello everybody, and welcome back to Classic Arcade Repairs. Sean here with you, and today on the bench I just got out a Galaxian board, next in queue. And what's really cool about this is this harness right here is the very harness that I used on Moon Cresta. And as you can see, it's an absolute ripoff of Galaxian. So I'm using the exact same harness, Pac-Man transformer, and my Moon Cresta / Galaxian harness. I'm hooked up and ready to monitor 5 volts. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see what we get. Oh, we're sitting at 3.8 volts. That's not going to cut it. And we got reset nonsense going on over here. .8 volts. Not good. And if I take that off of there, and let's go to right here. The other side of the diode. At the other side of the diode, we have 8.3 volts, which is perfect. That's what's going into our power supply. And I will confess, I turned this board on just a little bit before, and I noticed what was going on here with the power. Come on. And I got to looking at this diode right here, that Zener diode, and I kind of moved it and it crumbled apart. So yeah, crumbled. We have a power supply failure. So that will be the first thing. Actually, the first thing, this board is dirty. See that? How dirty this board is. The very first thing we're going to do to the dirt ball is we're going to give it a good washing. And then we are going to test parts. I'll test this guy. We'll read the value on that guy. We'll read the value on this guy. I suspect those will be fine. This is probably going to be the culprit. So we'll replace this guy. We'll replace these 2 caps. And we'll replace this Zener diode. And I'll check and make sure that none of these tantalums look blown out. They'll look okay. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take care of this nonsense. And see what we get. Okay. That's where we'll start. We'll replace all the caps. We'll recap the electrolytics on this thing, and then on the tantalums I'll just make sure they're not shorted. Then we can move on. Get us a good 5 volts on this board. Okay, I went ahead and did a little stripping. Pulled all the caps off the board. I pulled these 2 diodes off the board because they were just rusted and gross, so I'm going to replace those guys. I scraped all of the old glue off of these. These are supposed to have heat sinks on them. These are those rams, remember? And they're supposed to have little heat sinks on them, and they're all gone. So I scraped all the glue off of them. I'm going to glue heat sinks on all of these guys when I'm done. So next thing to do is wash this without removing this. I don't want to remove that sign right there. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. This board's gross. It needs to be washed. We'll see. Alright. Anyway, next thing to do is clean up, and I need to remove this guy because I bet you this is the problem. I measured from right here over through this resistor to one of the legs on this guy, because that's what happens is this voltage comes through this resistor and goes into this guy, and it was like 53 ohms, so that tells me this resistor's good. This one I'm not even bothering with. I'm sure it's good. I'll put a meter across it. It'll be 4 ohms. I know it'll be good. This guy I suspect will be fine. This thing I guarantee, well, you know how guarantees go. But I bet you that's the problem. So I'm just going to replace that guy. I'm going to replace the Zener, all the caps, the 2 diodes here, and we'll look at what we got. While I'm at it, I think I'll replace these 2 sockets and these 2 sockets. I'll just replace all of those sockets and this one. Well, one of my cats sounds like it's in a fight outside. Yeah, anyway, let's do the sockets and everything and see what we get. Okay, so I have washed this board really nice, and it came out really good. Really nice and clean. I've removed the socket tops, and this stayed on the board, and as well as this sticker up here, which is nice. All the socket tops. I'm getting ready to pick the pins out of the board. I'll resocket it, and I got the desoldering gun out. I'm gonna clear out all the holes, and because I just picked everything out. So I'll clear out all the holes, I'll repopulate with new caps and everything. And a couple diodes up here I pulled out. And yeah, so we'll repopulate everything. The Zener, I'll put a new Zener in it. And I'm going to go ahead and, this looks like this may have been replaced at some point. So I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on replacing that. I do believe I'm going to pull this out and test this transistor, and that'll do it. And then we'll see what we got. Okay, and our board is rebuilt. I did pull this whole thing off of here, and I tested this transistor, and it's fine. The new caps. Cap here, all of these caps. The sockets are new. Those are new. A couple of these little caps broke off, I had to replace. These 2 diodes are new. This diode right here, that's that Zener diode. That guy's new. Yeah, so new stuff. So we'll go ahead and put our board back on here and fire it up and test power and see what we get. If power's still bad, I'm replacing this guy. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Alright, and we are hooked up, and I've got hooked to power, and we are now at 4.93 volts. So what was the culprit? Who knows? It could have been these guys. It could have been these diodes robbing some of the voltage coming through, because that does get voltage from both sides. This guy does. This is original. This is original. Caps are these are original. This Zener, maybe the Zener has something to do with it. I don't know. I'd have to really look at this schematic of this power supply to find out really exactly how it works. I don't know exactly how it works, so, because I've never really studied it. So, but anyway, all new caps and everything. Now we're getting good power, so that fixed that. But we're doing this, which we can put the fluke on it and see what's going on with this thing. But first things first, or actually what I wanted to let you know, I had a harness for Galaxian that was wired up for DC power. I converted that harness to work with this, to work with the AC power, because the speaker outlets, the speaker pinout is not exactly the same on this as it is Mooncresta. Because I noticed when I was using the Mooncresta harness and I had this thing plugged in, this was fire hot, and it's completely cool to the touch now. And I was worried that I killed this amp, but you can see. Can you hear that? I didn't kill the amp. It's still working, which is great. So I'm going to put that back down a little bit. I thought I killed that by having it using the other thing, but I didn't, thank goodness. So our power's good. Now we just have a logic failure now. So no big deal. Yeah, these guys get warm right here, so I will put some heat sinks on here. I don't have very good heat sinks. They're gold and they have little fins that come up. It's better than nothing. So I'll glue those on when I'm done. And we'll go ahead. I imagine it's just some kind of a ROM problem. Let's put it in test. See what. And it says bad ROM. It just says bad ROM. That's it. Doesn't tell me what ROM. So we'll go ahead and I'll put the fluke on this thing and see which ROM is actually bad. It might be a bad socket, who knows. I could reseat everything. I did not replace these sockets. So I think I'll go ahead and put the Z80 pod on this thing and see what ROM is not right. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. 9A66. Yep. I have, I got the fluke on this guy. And I have Galaxian Midway ROM stuff pulled up from MAME. And none of these match. Not one of them. But they're not random. They come back to the same thing every time. So I'm curious if this is just a bad ROM set. I don't know. Or if it's decoding. The only way to really tell that is to dump these files and compare them to MAME and see if this comes up as something. Somewhere along the line somebody may have put some goofy ROM set in here. I don't know. This one looks original. That guy does. These are not. I don't think. No, I know they're not. They would have looked like that. So, I don't know. I kind of want to dump those ROMs and see if they come up to something. Because you never know. So, yeah, it just doesn't, they don't come up to nothing. So, I'll go ahead and do that and report back. Well, here's a problem. I just removed that guy and see that? See that right there? Broken leg. Broken leg. Oop. I've been saving all of my dead chips. No more garbage. This is the garbage box. All my dead chips. Look at that. The boneyard. Alright. So I'll have to program that guy. I don't even know which one that is. Is that Z or X or... No, it's W. Okay. Yeah, these are labeled. That's awesome. Okay. I just wanted to show that. Yeah, so... Alright. I'm going to pull these guys. I'll have to program W. And these are all bad too, so I don't know. I'm going to dump them though. Just, like I had planned. I'm going to dump them and see what's up. Okay, so after dumping those ROMs, they were a mismatch of ROMs. One was a Super Galaxian, the rest of them were Midway Set 2. The one, remember, was broke. But the interesting thing is Super Galaxian is its own ROM set in MAME. There's not a mix and match. So what I did was I burnt a set of Galaxian, Midway Galaxian ROMs. And I just got it put back together, and we're going to fire it up together. So let's watch the screen. And it's doing the same thing. So let's put it in test. Bad ROM 2. Bad RAM. It says bad RAM 2. Yeah, I don't buy that because it didn't have a bad RAM before. Interesting. Okay. So we will investigate and return. After investigating, I had the fluke on it, and these guys all verified good. This ROM was no good, and it was corrupting the data bus after I programmed it, which is weird. So I got to burn another one of these guys, and then this board should be good to go. So let me go ahead. I got to get the programmer back out again and burn one of these guys. But these guys all verified good, so good to go. We're almost there. Alright, I got the new U, the next new U. So we got a nice new set of rounds. We got all the power supply rebuilt, 4.9 volts, running on an AC supply. I did clean up this board and did not waste the stickers, which is cool. And I've got it turned on, and it's in test. And we're looking good. So let's take it out of test. We are the Galaxians. There it is. Colors are looking good. So I say we set the old... Oh wait, what is that? That was some weird text down there. I don't know what that said. Watch when it says Midway, it looked weird to me. Yeah. I think that is these ROMs. I really do. I think we have a bad ROM. So, dang it. I should have dumped these when I had the thing out. I didn't. Alright, well, we're not done yet, guys. I'm going to get the programmer back out again because we have an issue with one of these EEPROMs, I believe. So that's what we're going to find out. Alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, I just happen to have a Galaxian board laying around with no ROM board, no ROM satellite board, And I just grabbed that and grabbed the two ROMs out of it, and we'll wait for that screen. Remember the goofy looking copyright logo. And I'm not sure if these graphics were different or not. I don't remember. I'd have to watch the video on the enemy ships. See that? Midway, purple. Just how it's supposed to be. So yeah, those bad ROMs. Interesting. I want to do a little swapperoo and find out which one it was. So I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to find out which one of these guys was actually bad. And I'm pretty sure it's only one of them. And whichever one it is, I'll leave the good one in there. And if I ever do anything with this board, I'll just program a new one. So, alright, I'll be back. Okay, yeah, it was this guy right here. And if you can see now, this is the one that was out of that board. These have the same logos on them, right? This is the one that was in the board right here. You can see it's just a generic, it's a different type of chip. And I'm glad that it was that one, because this one has a broken leg. It's got enough of a leg on it though that it caught the dual wipe. But this one is a good chip with all of its legs. So I'm going to send this one along like this. Those graphics ROMs are good. Now we're looking good. And all we have to do is do a little play testing. So let's get to it and do that. Lights off Galaxian. Alright, we had Moon Cresta, and now we have Galaxian. So, without further ado, coin. And start. Basic. Ah. Oh man, I wanted to get past that first wave. I'm gonna play one more time. I'm not very good. I was actually surprised at myself. One more game. This is a tough game. Oh my goodness! Get him! Darn it. Oh, I wanted to get past that first level, but no. It was not to be. What is it, boo-boo? Well, there you have it. Galaxian lives again. And let's turn that light back on. I got this strapped down really good with a tie. I've got those glued on. Let's turn it off. I got those glued on. That it's going to take till tomorrow for those to really cure good. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Galaxian lives again. Thanks a lot for watching. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair, guys. Thank you. Peace and out.